or cowboy, and other names which are not for publication. I do hope you will agree that Bob will be sadly missed as he ventures forward on a bird, or a helicopter, or a motorcycle, namely an Indian, as the Harley probably won't get him where he needs to go.
Oh, you take that back.
Today, I will invite some people to come up and say a few words of reflections in their dealings with Mr. Gildare. So to give you plenty of warning, I will begin. Firstly, what I'd like to do is let you all know, sort of, what Mr. Gildare, shit, if I lost the paperwork and I didn't know what I was saying, I was making it up as I go along. It could be a problem. Bob Gildare, Robert Charles Gildare, cowboy, whatever you want to call him, was born on the 2nd of November 1952. And he ventured into the unknown sometime in the future. On the 8th of January 1969, Bob joined the Navy at HMAS Lewin in Fremantle. In 1970, he was posted to HMAS Sydney, the Bung Tau Ferry, February trip. Hell of a trip, apparently. In 1971, posted to HMAS Snipe, PNG support. 1972, posted to HMAS Lewin. And in 1975, he discharged from the Royal Australian Navy. In 1975, he signed up with the RAAF, that's the Royal Australian Air Force, as a fireman. Now, he tells you all these stories, but he really went there because they had helicopters. And then in 1975, he was posted to Point Cook as a fireman training. A training fireman, a trainee fireman. And in 1975, he was posted to RAAF Base Piers. In 1979, he was posted to RAAF Base Richmond and RWF Base Fairburn in Canberra for air crew training in the Iroquois. In 1988, last flight, then long service leave to make up 20 years. In 1989, he discharged after the Army, were given the helicopters and left many aircrew without a job. After that, he had various businesses and jobs. He blew shit up, basically. He joined Sparks and Wildfires. For those people that don't know what it is, that's National Parks and Wildlife, because they tend to start all the fires. He became a helicopter crewman and flew a further nearly 80 hours and had a grand total of 3,174.5 hours as a crewman. In 1992, then he started blowing shit up. And in 2023, due to the beauty of the Department of Veterans Affairs, Bob retired from work. His highlight, did shitloads of flying. Something to do with the Sky Pig. Yeah. He caught 3 bad guys while he was working with Vicpol. And then he put seatbelts in a plane that crashed. Go figure. So, that's a little bit about Bob. Now, my story. I met Bob and he was known as Cowboy, a rider with the MMC, and they found a home at the Bassendean RSL. Don't cheer for that bit yet. You've got to listen to the rest of what I've got to say. After a comment that didn't go well, and yes, it was made by me, and I found it funny. The MMC at Bassendean ceased to exist, and Bob and others stayed and joined a real military motorcycle club. Now, hey, I've got to keep it up, it's great. Now, joining the Western Grunts Military Motorcycle Club, Bob found that we do some serious riding quite regularly and packed for the long haul. Surprised I was when Bob declared he was coming to Gympie for the infantry muster, and away we went, ably assisted by Linford at each stop with carrying gear and allowing Bob to fill himself full of oxygen, machine oxygen. After following me across the country, they realised there were turns and I may go the wrong way. And we did uphill and down dale, always on bitumen. But sometimes that was iffy when we came across some of the roads. Then we had one of our better nights at Can River. If anybody's not been to Can River, it's in the bottom right-hand corner of Victoria. It's cold. There's a very funny Asian lady that serves you and cook meals and gives you shit. Now, that was the time when Mr. Christie, Linford, decided to advise Bob that he was going to Brisbane alone. And the look on Bob's face when he realised that looking after him for the rest of the trip was me. And I did tell Bob I would certainly look after him after he looked after himself. And we woke up in the morning and said goodbye to Linford after Linford packed all his stuff up, and off we went. And Bob, luckily for me, well, luckily for him really, he really didn't need looking after. It was a wonderful trip, and off we went to Gympie via Texas, which was another great night we had in Queensland, and made the effort to do it again. Then we came back to Perth. Bob was on oxygen the whole time. We all know that Bob has been unwell for quite a while. But on that trip, Bob and I did just over 11,000 kilometres in 15 days. And I must say, an absolute inspiration for living a life. We made it, so there's full stop there, which I didn't read. We made it, and Bob's first words out of his mouth when we got back is, "We're doing this again next year." And I went, "Oh fuck." And we did, and that time we did it with Dicko. And I must say, it was better organised, but it was a difficult ride because Bob seems to think you can go sightseeing and do 1,000 kilometres a day on the motorcycle. And I must tell you, we got up at, I think, 5:30 in the morning. We were on the road at 7, and we rode from Victor Harbour via the Great Ocean Road, in which we stopped and had a look at things. Then we ended up in Queenscliff, and we finished at 10:30 after asking Bob where we were staying, at the wrong place. And we eventually found that we finished at 11 o'clock. And that, I must say, was an absolutely massive day, and I'm surprised that Bob made it. But later, when we were going into Queensland, our last day's riding. It was about 34 or 35 degrees Celsius. Dicko and I are just motoring along. Bob's hanging out there as well. I think everything's rosy. I missed the pub, and I know that may surprise you, but I missed the pub. So we had to do a U-turn. Pretty much our only U-turn for the whole trip that time, mind you. It's quite awesome. We pulled up on the bikes, parked them up. Dicko and I got off, went, oh, it's a bit warm. Fucking Bob, right, decides to collapse against a pub wall. Right, and he was absolutely rooted, right, and me being the caring and compassionate soul that I am, I said, thank fuck, Bob, it's against the wall of the pub. Now I don't have to go far to get a drink, right? And then Bob then was looking at me really angry. Oh, I thought he was angry. And then I said, don't worry, I've got the transfer papers in my bike for the Indian. And then he probably got up and came into the pub and sort of brought him back to life. Anyway, I must say that, as I said, I've known Bob, I've done his advocacy, I've been a friend, I believe I've been a friend, I believe we've done some wonderful things, and on our chat room, which nobody gets to see, I named him fucking legend. And to me, forever, Bob Gildare will be a fucking legend.
Yep.
Yeah. So let me ask Dicko. Now Dicko's known Bob for many. Dicko's known Bob for many. Shut up, you're dead. Dicko has known Bob for much longer than me, and as a member of the Military Brotherhood, the Military Motorcycle Club, and the Western Grunts Motorcycle Club. Dicko.
Well, thank you very much for letting me speak about this wonderful man. That was. Yeah, that was. He's no longer with us, of course. But I met Bob through the Military Brotherhood Motorcycle Club. We were in Perth. Well, he started off down south, but he seen the light and went to Perth Central. And due to some administrative and also some people that thought that they were better than others, we decided to depart the Brotherhood. Bob was, he decided to depart before me, but he was standing up for other brothers that had been sort of stabbed in the back. So I take my hat off to a man that sticks by his principles. And if Bob was here, I'd be saying to him, what a great guy he was. But since what he's not, I'll just have some beer, Bob. I took a few rides with the Western Grunts, and Bob and a couple of other guys came in and said, hey, you should come and join. So I did. And I think it was a great move. I've met some lovely guys. We ride hard, we ride long distances and have a good time. Which, incidentally, on the second trip to Gympie, I was ordered by our captain there to look after Bob. So that's what I sort of tried to do. But Bob, being a man of stature and not wanting to be a nuisance or anything, he mainly looked after himself. But I learned a few things on that trip, and that is that it is about life and living, and he rode not like a maniac, but like a guy that was enjoying himself on the open road. we went and seen a few things as we went, and enjoyed a few beers, much to Dave's disgust. And Bob was a wonderful fella. I enjoyed his company. He's been secretaries and treasurers of companies. He's always tried to look out for his fellow men, especially ex-servicemen. And so I'd just like to say that we should all have a toast to the guy. But just hold a minute, one more thing. Bob turned around when we got back from Gympie and he gave me a memento on the key ring. And it was for a, what did it say? Dave, was it for...
Well done, Dave Beecham.
No. It was for the...
Oh, so it was a fancy story.
The inaugural area.
Buster ride or something,
yeah. And it was a really nice touch. So he gave Bob and me one each.
No, Bob gave Dave.
Oh, Bob, yeah, sorry, Bob. Bob gave them to me and Dave. And it was a fantastic trip. Bob and I, sorry.
David and I.
Well, David too, yeah. Yeah, it's no wonder it's quite old. So I'd like to say was a great fellow motorbike rider companion, and he's going to be sorely missed. That is for real. Thank you very much.
Now I'd like to ask Busy to come up.
Now you're going to hear what your wife really thinks of you.
It's all right, he's gone. You can say anything you can't hear.
Mind the language is easy. Don't fucking asshole.
Okay. First of all, just a
Closer.
just like to say a big thank you to everyone. A big thank you to everyone in the club for supporting us here tonight, especially Dave, Robert, Justin, Drew, Billy and Tony. Thanks to all the beautiful ladies helping us in the kitchen with all the great food. It's been really overwhelming actually. And really great to see the girls, Sharon, Kelly, Elsa, like Emma. But just a few things about Bob. He is actually a true warrior. In fact, my nickname for him is the Black Knight from the old Shogunatsu, from the old Monty Python skit. In other words, does anybody remember that?
Yes.
Arms and legs are chopped off, so that really small, it just keeps going no matter what. And in other words, I don't think, Bob might think he was diagnosed as well, she thinks he's going to survive a lot longer than what they told him. Then when the care was going to be hard, you're going to get there. And, just a few personal things when we're funny and amusing things. We were at the Grand Prix, motorcycle Grand Prix in Cowes down in Phillip Island, and Casey Stone won. We played having fun all the time. And Casey Stone won. And we had sports cars, so we're up and driving all the way back to Melbourne. And immediately rings up his name Wayne Patterson, and Wayne orders a 999S Ducati. And we picked it up, and it was just the most fun bike we ever had. Really fun. But how fast did it go? About 220.
You can't talk to him.
It's very fast. And it was a brilliant bike, and just a lot of fun being at the Grand Prix. And Kelly, you were doing it at some stage. I took you for your ride. Hard to stand back from the same, but we're married in 1990, so quite a lovely marriage, successful marriage. Lots of fun, lots of interesting things. Fireworks, which didn't go too well for me in the end. But I survived it. And also, just since we've been at this club, we just feel so welcome. hard, but we really thank everybody for this hard work and just looking after us so well.
Love you, Izzy.
I did say when Bob got into the fireworks, he started blowing things up. Now, we have a little special event. I have absolutely no idea what's about to go on. But there is an Israeli gentleman here named Cyclone who's going to come and do something. Better get up here. And yes, if you hear in my voice, it is true.
Next time somebody gets up to talk, hold on the microphone to the poor Izzy, she done like this. Bob and I met through the MB and MC. Oh,
Do the microphone. Just do the microphone.
sorry. Better or not?
Bob and I met in the MBMC and some years ago, and we rode and were members, active members of the club until we ended up having to come here, and then it disbanded. We're still part of, I'm retired basically, but, so Bob was always the first man to put his hand up for something, to help do something, always. And to this day, it's the same thing. He hasn't stopped. He is a legend. I won't say what he said, but he was an absolute legend. And anyway, I don't know whether a lot of people know about the time that we got a call for help. The call for help was from Queensland. Bob and Izzy were in hospital. And the reason they were in hospital, because one of the branches of the Australian Army, otherwise known as Amphibious Side, he decided that he was going to be, he wanted to be a mariner. And that his Winnebago that he beautifully put together wasn't amphibious at all. And they, unfortunately, Bob, being cowboy, decided he's going to cross this creek, and the Winnebago wasn't happy about that. And they were saved by a farmer, and they froze this water in Queensland. I didn't know there was freezing water in Queensland, but they're lucky to be here. They really are lucky to be here. And the farmer helped them out, and then he went back, he broke the back window and got the dog out. And the Winnebago went look, look. So on that note, I really appreciate the time we spent with Bob, and I hope it'll be a while before I'll say it was, not like others. But anyway, I do have a present for Bob. And it's rarely that I do this, but in this particular case, I certainly want to give him a present. So I've got it here, I'm going to bring it over, and I'll get Bob to open it up for his present.
Farewell.
Good night, Bob. Okay, Bob. So, inside here is his present. Nice shoulder. Release the lid. No, wait, just release the locking of the lid. And I'll leave it up to Bob to open it. Bob, the aircraft, you will appreciate it.
It's a dog. It's a dog.
Well, it's not my last night.
That's the most
gentlemen,
How's your jocks?
because it is Bob's way, and Bob couldn't be here. He wrote something for me to say, and I will read it word perfect, which might be difficult because there's crosses and scribbles. Thank you all for coming today. I'm sure there is no one here that doesn't think cancer is the pits. So today, we get to drink some, bullshit some, and generally get a bit untidy. The community of this RSL is amazing and has helped me to overcome some of the PTSD hang-ups that had started to take hold. Of course, the Western Grunts have offered the opportunity to blow the blues away. This also includes the military brotherhood from the past.
Woohoo!
I haven't given up the fight. And being the stubborn bastard I am, I will give it all that I've got. That said, your task, should you choose to take it up, is to raise a glass and then another and curse cancer that may affect anyone that you know.
Fuck cancer.
Friends, relatives, brothers, sisters, absent friends, to your health. Before we end the official part of this wake, and Bob can come back a bit like Jesus, really.
You're doing wine?
I will recite the ode, so if everybody can please be upstanding. They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them. Lest we forget. Ladies and gentlemen, please, could everybody, before you sit down, put your hands together for the life of Mr. Bob Gildare. Last but not least, 3 cheers for Mr. Bob Charles Gildare. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip!